Oh, hello.
Hello, how are you all?
And we are live. It's your favorite insurance agents, Darnold Jr.
Michelle DeSalle, the Wealth Tattletale.
And this is Finlit Live. This is the show where we learn about personal finances and we get literate about different areas of personal finance. And this is going to be an exciting show. So those that are first-time home buyers, this is definitely the show you want to tune into. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get lit. All right. So without any further ado, let's bring on Briana. Hey, Briana.
Hey there.
Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. So my name is Briana Thezard, and I am a realtor. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Memorial and Keller Williams Capital Properties. I'm with two brokerages, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And I've been in real estate for 4 years.
Excellent. So cool.
The first-time home buyer thing is a really big deal for young people getting started, and that's usually the demographic for the first-time home buyers. But then sometimes it scurries over into somebody that just kind of like got their stuff together finally, and they're going to get to buy their first home. And I want you to shed some light on what demographic are you usually dealing with when they're trying to get their first home, and what are the requirements, Briana?
Yes, so my demographic in terms of first-time home buyers, it is shifting a bit, but I do work with quite a few people who are actually just recently graduated college. So I am starting to see a lot of 23, 24-year-olds who are purchasing their first home. But then I also have people who are in their 30s and 40s who are purchasing their first home as well. So the demographic is a little broad. However, I am starting to see a lot of people in their younger 20s starting to purchase homes, whether it's their primary residence or an investment property. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it is a great range. And then in terms of preparing, I always say, because it's so much information to purchase a home, it can be very scary for a lot of people. But I would say the first thing is a realtor. Just get more information. What is the steps to purchase a home? I think the best thing is to have that consultation, because it really takes away all the fear that you have, because you hear about, oh, the market is bad, and oh, inspections and all these different things. But it's like, talk to a realtor, learn about the process, learn where talk to the realtor to tell them what you're looking for, and then create the path to do that. So I would say the consultation is always the first thing for sure.
Well, that's great insight. First-time home buyers, there are a lot of different, programs in place for first-time home buyers. Let's talk about some of those programs and what they entail. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so well, definitely there's many programs for first-time homeowners. I would definitely
Right.
say one thing that I always suggest is, as soon as you talk to a realtor and have your consultation, the next step is to go and speak with the loan officer, because that loan officer is not going to only tell you about a possible first-time homebuyer program, but based off of your profession, you can also be qualified for or any type of incentive just based off of your career. So say, for instance, you are in the healthcare field or you were a teacher, you could definitely have incentives as well. So I would always recommend that. But in terms of first time homeowners, what we see on average is, instead of putting, a lot of people say, oh, I need 20% down in order to purchase a home. That is not true. However, as a first time home buyer, you can put, instead of 20% down, 15 or 10%, you can put 3% down. So that is one of the biggest benefits for first-time homeowners, is, you don't have to have this huge chunk of savings to purchase your first home, but you do have to have at least 3%. So that is definitely a pretty big incentive for first-time homeowners. Another thing now, since the market is shifting a bit and we are starting to see, inventory is kind of slowing down a little bit, staying on the market a little longer than usual, we are seeing that buyers are able to negotiate to actually get help. So they're able to ask the seller, hey, may I have this amount in order to close on the home? So we are starting to see one, of course, you always have your first time home buyers program, but you're also able to.
That's awesome. So one of the things that has been making headlines lately is Bank of America. Are you familiar with this program?
Yes.
Yeah, they are getting given down payment and closing costs for people in certain areas. Like, can you elaborate on that? Like, is it worth going through the hassle of trying to apply for that? Like, enlighten us on about that.
Yes. So I will definitely say, in terms of when the headlines came out, I was like, okay, this is great for a lot of first time homeowners. I know everybody was super excited. I'm going to take it back to have the conversation with the loan officer because although it is an amazing program, this will definitely allow for minorities to be able to have the opportunity to get closer to home ownership. You want to make sure that you are able to qualify for it. So I know a lot of times there are these amazing incentives where they say, okay, we'll pay for this and we'll give you this amount in order to close on a home. But sometimes there's a lot in between the lines in terms of what you need in order to qualify. So I would always say have that conversation. But just know that it's fair, and able to, they do provide financial help in order for you to close on a home. But it also depends on, if you're able to qualify or not. So I haven't had any clients as of yet use that loan, but I do know it's out there. But I also do know that you really just have to make sure that you're qualified to do so.
Okay, great insight on that.
Excellent.
The FHA is a popular government loan program for first-time home buyers, but maybe our listeners may not have the full gist on what that entails. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So there's, of course, a lot, majority, actually, if not all, majority of my first time home buyers do use the FHA program. So the good thing with FHA is typically the two loans that majority of my buyers are using are FHA and conventional.
Okay.
So the good thing with the FHA is that you don't have to have as high as a credit score as you will with a conventional loan. So typically with a conventional, you're looking at probably the high 600s to 700s and plus. Whereas with FHA, you can have a little bit of wiggle room. So I've seen the lowest with FHA, I want to say was maybe a 620. So
Wow.
so I have seen about a 620 get approved. So that's a great thing for first time homeowners because maybe you're
Hopeful.
in a position where you may have the funds, but you don't have the credit score yet,
Yeah.
and you can still purchase. So that's a great thing with FHA. And you don't have to come with as much to the table. So in terms of your closing costs, it will be less than a unconventional loan, which you do have to, a lot of times put down more money with conventional, and then of course have that higher credit score. So FHA is that one, the qualifications aren't as strong, or you don't need as much funds or as much of a high credit score in order to qualify for a home. So that's why you do see a lot of first time homeowners use the FHA loan as opposed to a conventional loan. Both great loans, but it's typically easier to qualify. Okay.
Well, then that's hopeful for a lot of people. Um, don't have to lose hope and think that they just cannot have, that they don't have other options. So thanks for shedding some insight on that. Talk about the low down payments. Let's talk about low interest rates and things like that concerning the new homeowner, first time home buyer. Sorry.
Got you. So with a first-time homeowner, so what we are seeing now in this market is we are seeing a shift in terms of the interest rates. So of
Yeah.
course, increase, and we're seeing a decrease, and then seeing an increase. So it's kind of going back and forth. But in terms of the interest rates, I would definitely say that's one thing that has been scaring buyers away because
Yeah.
they're, oh my goodness, the interest rates are increasing. I can't afford a home.
Yeah.
Now, yes and no. And the reason why I say yes is because in the midst of COVID, interest rates were at an all-time low. So say for instance, in the midst of COVID, we were what, 2, 3%, maybe you had a interest rate of 3%. What you were qualified for in the height of COVID is going to be a totally different qualification
Mhm.
for what you're approved for now. So because the interest rates increase, now maybe you were approved for a home that's 350K. Now you may be approved for a home, so because of the interest rate. So Definitely a lot of people's qualifications have changed. So I think that definitely has a lot to do with, oh my goodness, I shouldn't purchase now. I should wait for the market to change. Which, we waited for it to change and it did. With the increasing, that wasn't the greatest. So I would definitely say in terms of interest rates, in order to buy down in terms of decreasing your interest rates, I would definitely say one thing I always say is don't just speak with one loan officer. Once you speak to a real, of course, you connect with the loan officer, but then from there, just have a conversation. Like find out which loan officers give you the learn which loan officers can teach you about interest rates and know what you can do in order to make it for this transaction to make more financial sense to you. So I would definitely say in this market, yes, we are starting to see a bit of an increase in interest rates, but it's okay because what we're seeing a difference of is the competition. So in the height of COVID, 15 to 20 people fighting against one home. Now it's not much. Maybe you have like maybe 3 to 5 people fighting against one home, which because it's less of competition, that's better for buyers. So I always say in every market, there's opportunity. So yes, interest rates may be increasing, but there's less competition. And with less competition means that you can negotiate more. When you go through that inspection and you need repairs, you can actually ask the seller, hey, can you fix this? Whereas in the height of COVID, they weren't fixing anything.
Nothing, right?
So people fighting against a home. So I would definitely say, with interest rates, don't be discouraged because we are definitely seeing, an increase and a decrease, and definitely, we're definitely seeing that. But just know that in every market there is opportunity. And I always say, yes, you want to look at the interest rate, but when you're going into a home, look at that monthly mortgage. Does that monthly mortgage make sense? That is the biggest thing. Do not focus on the sales price. What am I paying monthly? And just know that the more that you put down on the home, the lower that your monthly payment will be. And maybe you don't have the funds right now to put down on a home for a lower monthly payment, but that's okay. What you can do is when you purchase the home and you start paying your mortgage, you can start putting more down. So maybe your mortgage is 2,000. Maybe you can put 2,300, and just you can put down more than what you need to pay monthly to help decrease your monthly expenses.
Excellent. So, what are some of the major pitfalls that first-time homebuyers need to look out for when they're exploring their first house?
I would say one, information is good. We are in a information frenzy because we have TikTok, which TikTok is like the news for people now. Like it is.
Right.
It's law. There's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, and it's a really powerful thing because there's a lot of information on purchasing a home. However, sometimes I feel like a lot of the information is very misguided. So when I meet with first-time homeowners, they tell me information that I'm like, where did you get this from? I would definitely say it's okay to do your research. It's fine to do that, but I would say speak to professionals, speak to a realtor, have a consultation just to know like, hey, I heard about this program, or I heard about someone had a certain experience with purchasing a home. What does this look like? So I would definitely say have that consultation with the trusted realtor. I would say that was definitely one of the pitfalls because you want to make sure that you're getting the right information.
So they're out there getting fake news when it comes to real estate.
Fake news. Because some people are still saying they need 20% to purchase a home. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely have that consultation. That will be one. And just when you're working with a realtor, they're there to guide you. So, although you may have prior information, just know, because I know a lot of times I would have first-time homeowners like, well, my dad said, and their dad purchased stuff. So you're like, okay, this is where we are now. This is where the market is now, and allow me to guide you. So.
All right.
That's cool.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I love when you were deciphering that information, the pros and cons of when the pandemic was at its height, and now how the shift is. And now if you don't have the money, there's less competition, because I was going through that situation with my family where it was so many people looking for the house, and every time they tried to find a house, somebody had a contract on it. They thought they would never find a home. And so now the market has changed, and so that those are really good things to bring to the forefront so people can understand it's not the beast that it was before. So that's some good insight to let people know that there are other options out there still.
Yes, definitely have options.
So you are in an industry that, I mean, there's so many realtors, so many realtors.
Yeah.
And so you guys are looking at the same information, because it's the same across the board. You're having to go through, to HAR to get your information and things like that. What makes you stand out? When you're trying to help a first-time home buyer, why would I buy a home from you, Briana? Tell me what you working with, girl.
Yes, that is a good question. And you are so right. There is 1,000,005 realtors in one city. Okay. There are so many of us. So I would say one thing that differentiates me from other realtors is I am very personal. And I think a lot of times, just hearing from other people's experiences, because I do work with second time homeowners as well. So people who purchased already, and a lot of times with another realtor, they felt like it was just transactional. Like it was just a transaction. You got to do this, you purchase, you close the home, that's it. With me, I'm literally walking you through every step of the way. Even if you're a second time homeowner, we're going to make sure that you are taken care of every way. And even once you close on that home, I am still making sure that you're okay. So I would say one, being personable. Two, I think this is my pride and joy, is I love not only telling first homeowners, how to purchase a home, but telling them how to actually make money off of their first home. So we're not only going to talk about, hey, this is your first time, this is your first home. Like, hey, here's some ways that you can house hack. Here's some ways that you can use your property and turn it into an investment property in the future. Hey, I know you're super excited about purchasing your first home, but let's look at it as your first. So definitely would differentiate me as a person, and that's it. We're purchasing a home, and then we're looking in the future in terms of what this home can actually, what type of return you can get. I would definitely say, having that, giving that information. But then again, the personal piece is so important to me. I want to come to every performance. I want to come to dinner parties. I want to be it's like a family. Once my graduate, my clients sell with me, it's, I'm very close to them. So it really feels like family. I can't call them clients once we close because they were close. but I would definitely say that would be my top two, being personable, but also just making sure that I'm educating them further than just purchasing a home, because it's so much more than that. There's so much you can do.
Spill the tea.
Yeah,
like, how can you turn your first home into making money off your first home?
Giselle know how to get those gems. Talk about it, girl. Come on now.
Yes. So one of my clients, I'm so proud of her, which is really funny. I'm actually hosting a virtual real estate investing seminar this Thursday. And I was like, you know what? Typically on the seminars, I'm talking about real estate. And I was like, you know what? Let me have my clients talk for me. So I got my clients who are actually house hacking. And so some of them are house hacking, some of them just purchase multi-units, and I'm having them teach. Right. So this is a little different. Yes. So one of my clients, I'm just going to talk about her. She purchased her first home, and it was a townhome. And the lower level of the home, she turned into basically a studio apartment. So she's paying, I don't know if she's even paying $100 because her mortgage is being covered by her tenant.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
and she's still a primary owner. She still lives in the home, but she has a tenant in the home. So she's living in one part of the home. Her tenant is living in another part of the home. So that is what we call house hacking.
Yeah.
Her client who purchased a multi-unit. So hers, I think there was 3 units in the home. There's 3 units in the home. 2 units were occupied. 1 was not occupied. So because 1 is not occupied, she is considered a primary resident. This is her primary residence because she would be living in that one section, while 2 other families are living in that multi-unit and also paying for the mortgage. So she not only purchased a home, but now she has two families living with her, and she's, paying her mortgage from the two tenants. So it's just so much more than just purchasing a home. It's
Yeah.
so much more than that. So I would say definitely look into house hacking. You maybe people aren't really comfortable with you living in the home with them, but there are different things in terms of, like, me as a realtor. We have many photos for social media. People, we rent out houses just to take pictures. So
Okay.
we're doing the same thing. So you can do that. You say, hey, you know what, on the weekend, use my place for events, or I'll use my place for people to take pictures. So there's literally so much you can do with one home. So again, I always say, don't look at it as just my first home. Look at it as, okay, like, how are we going to make money off of this? A lot of first time homeowners, they have student loan debt. Okay, let's find ways to pay off this debt. Like, let's
Mm.
get closer to financial freedom. So that's my biggest thing, is just don't just purchase, but like, let's make some money. Let's make some.
So,
Absolutely.
girl, I see why you would be the one that I would buy from if I was a first time homeowner, because you bring some sauce to the table that most people don't.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm really glad that I asked that, because I really want to sit in on that seminar you're having. Because
Absolutely.
give us some dates,
Yeah.
girl.
Give us the
Let me
information.
write it down.
Yeah, so that's actually this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. CST. So if you're on the East Coast, it'll be 6:30 p.m. And I do have the link in my bio. So my bio for on Instagram is Briana.realtor. So you can just click the link. It's Wealth Building Through Real Estate Seminar, and then you can just sign up there, and you'll get the information to listen in. So I'm so excited about this.
Yes,
Excellent.
indeed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll open up to the audience. So if you're watching and if you have any questions for Briana, go ahead and type in the chat any of your questions. But while they're doing that, how can people get a hold of you?
Yes, so I'm very personable. I can give my number out. Before I give my number out, I do want to mention, because once I give my area code, people are like, Are you live in Houston?" So again, I was in real estate for 4 years. I originally started my career in the Maryland area, and then expanded to Houston. So I'm in both Maryland and Houston. And people are like, "How do you do two? They're not right next to each other. It's not like Austin and Houston."
Yeah.
But I have a in both areas. So if I'm in Houston and you need to see a home, every client has a showing assistant. So there's no such thing as Briana's not available to show. You can always see a home. So I do have assistants in both Maryland and Houston. But if you ever want to reach out to me, you can text or call me at 301-379-0831. I also have an email, briana.thezard@kw.com. And then I'm on all social media platforms. My name is Briana Thezard. So once you type in Briana Thezard, you'll be able to see me. And then you can schedule a consultation with me. If you just like, you know what, I'm not ready for a consultation, but maybe you just want to see different information. I do post pretty much a weekly live on Instagram. And you can just go back to all the lives, and it has a lot of information on the buying process. We even talk about investing. So maybe you're just in a state where you just want to take in information, then you can just go on the page and look for that. But that's how you can find me.
So you're comfortable with these lives.
I like to talk.
Hey, at least you're getting paid to talk now, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate you for sharing all that information.
Yes, I've learned some great stuff.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love your house hacking tips.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's really great. I
So,
mean, who thinks about, that, and they're buying a home and they're just so excited about just living in their
Yeah.
home, but someone comes along and share some insight and information and show them how, hey, you don't have to struggle to pay this house. No, let somebody do it for you. And I mean, and that's really good information.
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's really important. It's really important for sure.
You're teaching them how to be business owners more
Yeah.
than just a homeowner.
Yeah.
I like you,
Absolutely.
girl. I like you, girl.
So,
Mhm.
any last words for our audience?
Thank you. But yes, but I truly love what I do, and it's just a blessing, because I actually came from a computer science and cybersecurity background. So people are like, "How did
Wow.
you real estate?"
You really jumped ship.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. So it's very different. I mean, I was bored to death. I was in front of the computer all day. I was like, "What field can I talk and be around people?"
Nice.
And I
Gotta talk.
No. No, I understand because I had a computer science minor in college, and I dropped that bad boy because same thing. I'd rather be in front of people than a computer screen for
I know.
16 hours a week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
excellent. So cool. Well, we appreciate you for being on the show. Definitely hang out in the lobby, and we'll wrap up after the show's over.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Whew,
I'm
that
telling
was
you, I mean, this
great.
was really, really great. And this was the loudest it's ever been, I think, in here.
It's okay. Yeah. Quick
And
plug. I
yeah.
think we should plug them. Hampton Inn. Like we never represent. Like this is where we
No,
host
that
this
is
show.
true. That
And
is so true. We
yeah, we
never
need
do
to
that.
give the Hampton Inn some love
I
because we're in their
know that is
lobby
so
all the
true.
time. And
And then she was dropping these really good nuggets, and then the internet would go out and everything. I'm like, I want to hear what you gotta say.
it's great stuff.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
This was really, really great.
So
Really great.
cool.
So
Well,
yeah, let's remember to start doing that. That is, I can't believe we never thought to do
right?
that.
Hampton Inn on the east side, Bellway 8. Crystal, she's amazing. She's the general manager here,
Yes.
and she's my personal
No,
friend. And
Yeah, that man, Crystal
Yeah.
has just been so amazing.
Yeah.
How can we just
it's okay. But we're representing now, and we're gonna plug her from here on out because she's
now
been
look at
gracious.
our lighting
enough.
is just perfect now.
It
It wasn't
is.
perfect like that before.
Yeah, it's because the sun went down. But anyways, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you got any value out of today's show, go ahead and smash that like button. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube show. Our goal is to get up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're almost at 400. So we got
y'all go tell y'all
go.
friends about
Yeah.
us that it's two cool people over here talking some good stuff with some good guests and everything, and both of them bald.
Yep, that should be our new slogan. There you go.
This baldness is flawless.
There you go.
Word. My daughter would have died. Cindy would have died. She saw me do that. Mama.
Life is too short. You got to enjoy it, right? And so, how can they go to hold of you?
Oh, you can reach me on Instagram as The Wealth Tattletale. If you want to do a consultation with me and find out some really, really good wealth tips, you can schedule a consultation with me at centricadvisor.com.
Yep. And you can find me at darnoldjr.com and pretty much any social media from Instagram to Snapchat to TikTok to Twitter, all Darnold Jr. And so we have a couple events coming up. So I want to share that with you guys right quick. And let's make it bigger. There we go. So we just had the Teen Summit that was this past weekend.
Yeah.
But this upcoming Saturday is going to be huge. We have a men's conference. So if you are a man, or if you know man, and you're in the Houston area, this is the place to be.
Yeah.
Because we have amazing, amazing speakers. One of our former guests is going to be one of the speakers. Gabriel, he was a showstopper, and he's going to be a speaker at this conference. So definitely, you want to attend. It's going to be free. There's free food, free advice, free everything. And it's for any type of issue, from everything from judicial, there you go. Tongue tied here, and to emotional, to relational, to financial. I'm going to be one of the speakers at the conference. So
assistance.
We're going to have a lot of people looking to hire
mental
people.
health.
Absolutely.
It's covering the whole gamut, just trying to build up our men.
Absolutely, because the men we need them.
Yes, and we need them to be whole. And so we're trying to, take a holistic approach to this thing. And I mean, I won't be there, but I know all about it. But, it's there for men so that they will have an environment where they're not restricted, or they don't have to feel intimidated or judged or anything like that. So nothing is going to be there but men as, the speakers and things like that. No girls allowed, but we've been helping promote it. That's because we help our men out.
I appreciate it. We wouldn't be born without you.
Amen now, brother. Amen now, brother. A lot of stretch marks around here to bear the truth.
There you go. It starts at 10 a.m. It goes through 2 p.m. It's going to be at the Greenhouse International Church on 200 West Greenwich Road. It's going to be a blast. We have a lot of... And then coming up next week, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's here. On September 22nd is our birthday networking. Margaret Cruz and I are hosting a networking event at Pitch 25. So if you're anywhere in the Houston area, we are looking for sponsors. We already have over 75 people registered for this event. It's going to be the event of the month.
Woo.
And really, anybody that has a September birthday, we're recognizing you because Virgo's in the house.
What about if you had babies in September, like
Okay,
me?
I guess you
I
could come
had
too.
2 babies in
I
September.
guess you could come too.
Okay.
No, it's for anybody, everybody. It's going to be a blast. Get to network with like-minded individuals that are business owners. A lot of realtors are going to be there. So if you're in the real estate business, this is the place to be. And then last but not least, my personal event and Finlit Live is sponsoring Boost Your Sales Skills. If you don't know how to sell, this is the place to be. If you do not know how to sell, this is the place to be, because personal growth is where it's at, and anywhere you could develop yourself and go to that next level, especially with your sales skills, it's necessary. Because even if you can increase your revenue 5%, 10%, 15%, wouldn't it be worth your time and your effort to show up on a Saturday? And it's not just going to be me talking, it's going to be interactive, where I'm going to be teaching the principles, but we're going to apply it immediately, because that's where people learn, is application.
Yes.
So it's going to be at 10 a.m. right here where we're hosting this show.
Yes,
at the Hampton
at the
Inn,
Hampton Inn and
East Beltway.
Suites, East Beltway.
Yep.
And this is an amazing hotel. We have our chamber luncheons here a lot. We host events here, and the general manager, Crystal, is just an amazing person. She's so great to us, and we just want to make certain that everyone knows about the Hampton Inn and Suites on Beltway 8. It is the place to be.
It really is. So, well, we appreciate you guys for tuning in, and hopefully you got some value. And if you have, go ahead and share this, like this, subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday, 7 p.m. I appreciate you guys for getting lit.